What's going on, Guardians? Byrdman here again with another Titan build. Today we're going to be doing a Stasis setup using the new Cadmus Ridge Lancecap. I actually snagged this from my legendary campaign, quickly realized that was a poor choice because those strand legs are absolutely busted, but have been able to figure out this ability and create a really awesome setup with it. Not only it, but also using the new Stasis exotic glaive, the Winter's Bite. It is absolutely amazing and probably one of my new favorite weapons, and probably going to be something I'm going to be using on most characters from now on. But regardless, you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more videos coming up here soon, so just give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and just let me know what setups you want me to try out. But let's hop right on into it. Now, obviously, we're going to be going into Stasis with this. We really don't have a whole lot of choices with everything, but I do go with Dust Field Grenades for my grenade just because, again, it's able to slow those targets. It's got a really good cooldown on it, so we're constantly able to activate it, especially with all these orbs of power we're grabbing. But obviously, when it comes to the aspects, this is going to be the most important thing. We're using the Lancecap that is kind of involving these diamond lances, so obviously it's appropriate to put that on there. It will cause shatter and freeze. I really do enjoy these because you're able to go grab them, kind of like the new strand tangles, but for Stasis instead. But also I like to use Tectonic Harvest. Obviously, shattering Stasis crystals creates Stasis shards, and that gives me some melee energy. You can go into Cryoclasm because of the fact that you're able to do those sliding into the Stasis crystals, since we're going to be making a lot of those. But personally, I feel like that's just like an extra gimmick that's not really worth going into, and Tectonic Harvest would just be a better overall option. But when it comes to the fragments, I specifically picked these out because it helps with the overall flow of grenades, our ability, and shooting. And those are going to be Whisper of Conduction. Nearby Stasis shards track you. This is just really good all around, just so you're not having to constantly run around. And also grab Orbs Power on top of the Stasis shards. Going to Whisper of Rendering. Primary ammo weapons do increase damage to Stasis crystals and frozen targets. Obviously, we're using a Stasis SMG, so this is going to be absolutely perfect. Next is going to be Whisper of Shards. Shattering a Stasis crystal temporary boosts your grenade recharge rate, and shattering additional Stasis crystals increases that duration. Obviously, we want to be throwing as many grenades as possible just to be freezing things and just overall not having to really deal with a whole lot of enemy damage. Whisper of Fissures, increasing the damage of the size and burst of our Stasis crystals exploding, and Stasis crystals of defeating frozen targets. And then finally, Whisper of Refraction, defeating slow and frozen targets grants class ability energy. So that's going to be important for the Lancecap specifically. So having these 5 really solid all around. But again, like I mentioned on the aspect side, if you really want to just do a lot of sliding damage into those crystals, Cryoclasm would be a good option. Now, going into the gear of this build, again, I mentioned before I'm using a Stasis SMG. It's going to be using that primary ammo, so obviously it's going to work with that aspect. We're using Prolonged Engagement. It's a favorite of mine specifically. I got lucky to have a decent roll with Outlaw and Headstone, so all around it's going to be doing some solid damage. For this secondary, I mean, that's kind of up to you. I've been using a Null Composure just because I love this weapon and I think it's really solid and helps me get rid of those void shields that tend to be an issue sometimes, I feel like. And then, like I mentioned before, that Winter's Bite, absolutely amazing. I really enjoy this. The fact that it says fires a large ball of energy that locks onto nearby targets and freezes them. This is great to use from swapping to it, shooting one of those, and then essentially watching all the enemies be frozen and being able to just mow them down with my Prolonged Engagement. Really enjoy this, but again, at the same time, it's a glaive, so you can run around, hit people with it, and they will freeze because of it. So really solid. I really enjoy this thing. Obviously, you have to finish the exotic quest for it. So you have to do 3 days in a row, the terminal chest, and then you'll get some other checkpoints to go to, and then eventually you'll be able to snag this. Now, when it comes to this part of the setup, now, when it comes to the gear of this setup, obviously Cadmus Ridge Lancecap. Diamond Lance creates Stasis crystals on impact when thrown, and with more crystals being created from bosses and vehicles. I actually really like that part just for the fact we're able to get more shatter damage. But while using Stasis subclass and behind your rally barricade, rapid precision hits and combatant final blows with a Stasis weapon creates a Diamond Lance near you. This is great for just being able to change up the overall flow of the build. You can run around, mow down people, and throw lances if you want, or you can sit in one spot, get lances, freeze enemies, and then just constantly mow them down. I just really enjoyed this. I just think it's a solid setup. For this specifically, though, I run Stasis Siphon 2 times just for extra orbs, and also the fact I'm getting heavy ammo finder for that Winter's Bite. I want to be able to use that as much as humanly possible, so the more heavy I get, the better off I am. Going on to the gauntlets. On this, I have on firepower, stasis loader, and bolstering detonation. You can change the stasis loader out for something else. I just really wasn't sure exactly what I wanted. So, and if I'm able to get a little bit faster reload, even if I'm not getting that outlaw on my SMG, I'm at least having a little bit better off. And same thing with the Winter's Bite. Going to our chest piece, I'm going to be running 2 charged up just so I have more stacks of that armor charge, and then also stasis reserves for increased ammo reserves. Going on to our legs, running 1 stasis weapon surge just for a little bit extra weapon damage. Stacks on stacks for picking up an orb grants me those armor charges, and also stasis holster. This is really nice just for the fact I'm able to pull out my Winter's Bite, shoot it, put it, stow it, and be able to get that auto reloading on it. So I'm never really having to worry about reloading it outside of maybe just spamming it against a boss or something like that. And then finally on our class mark, I'm running time dilation just so we have longer armor charges to help out with that surge for our weapons, and then also double bomber. You probably could swap out the bomber with either utility kickstart or outreach, but this is just what I kind of picked up for now. Thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, comment down below some other setups you want to see, and follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. Gonna be making a whole lot more builds this upcoming week, so just be prepped and ready for some cool stuff. And if you're enjoying Lightfall, just let me know down below. But regardless, I hope you have a great night, day, whatever it may be.